Hi, welcome to Belly Button TV, where I'm going to show you exactly how I do my subcutaneous injection. You're obviously doing intramuscular, but I'll let you know whenever that difference actually matters. This is in case I can't be here tonight, for example, or any other time, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my best to reenact that plume video that was my guide that I used to just I would watch along every step of the way, every injection. Even once I knew what all the steps were, I still watched along to do every step along to it, to give me the right pace and helps keep me calm. I really like that. I don't know how much I'll have to cut to keep the pace going in case I go on tangents, but I try to give you literally all the information in the entire world all in one video. This is how I do the injections, which a lot of people will probably say are a little bit overly cautious. You're gonna see that with time if you want to drop some of these precautions, but this is how I do it, and that's the way I'm gonna present it. Step 1, make sure you have everything. Here is the list. It goes estradiol and enthate for me. Today we're going to be doing 0.15 milliliters. I take that every 10 days. Of course, you have a different dose and a different interval of days between. 2 alcohol swabs, wipes. 1 syringe, 1 milliliter for me. Yesterday I said that you should look into getting 1 milliliters. I take that back because I didn't know your dose at that time. 3 milliliters is actually great for you. 2 needles. This one's for drawing. You can see it's longer. This is 22 gauge, 1.5 inches long. This is 25 gauge, half an inch long. That's going to be for the injection. 1 tissue that is going to be out of the frame for now. 1 bandage. The video, actually the plume video, recommended a more childish, fun design. Have fun with it, it said. Which is a noble cause, but these are the ones I've lying around. And sharps disposal container. You don't actually have to have a real professional one. You can DIY that as well, but it's certainly safer to do it seriously. That's also going to be a little bit outside the frame. Right, step 1, prepping the vial. It can be good just to make the liquid very slightly less viscous to warm it up. You can do that by just rolling it in your hands 10 times. It's really not a big deal. Very, very, very slightly warmer than room temperature. She also said, the woman in the plume video, she said, you can also put it into warm water, but not boiling. Do not put it in boiling water. Then you do a little visual check. So I'm taking a look. This is supposed to be basically as clear as water. You want it to be liquid. You want there to be no dirt in it. You want it to not be crystallized. I think that's a thing that mostly happens to testosterone, but you know, you make sure that everything's still looking fine, which it is. It's perfectly clear. It's perfectly liquid. Great. Now, we're going to use 1 of the alcohol wipes. I'm German if you didn't know. To disinfect the stopper. The stopper, by the way, is fucking magic. I have no idea how it's possible. The little rubber thing in the top middle of the lid. We're going to poke a hole through it, and we're going to pull the needle back out, and there's not going to be a hole in it. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, we're just going to wipe across it. It's kind of jagged edges. It doesn't quite make sense to me. It's weird. It feels bad. But we're just trying to get some disinfectant on there, essentially. It's fine. Right, and that is this alcohol wipe already used up. The one we'll use later is the other one. It was just for the vial. That was all. And the vial's done. Time for the syringe. The syringe starts like this. All of these things are packaged in the same way. You open it up, peel it halfway off. This is going to be the back end of it with the plunger. And then try not to touch the other side so as to prevent contamination. The trash is also going to go out of frame here for now. Right, and the draw needle. Same thing, open it up from here. In this case, it is a lure lock, which is the type that you like really screw in. There's also lure slip. They're both fine. It's just you got to know that your needles are compatible with your syringes if you ever buy different ones. And so I've halfway peeled back the plastic and I'm screwing it on, never touching the connecting pieces with my fingers. Also wash your hands before you start all this. Sorry for saying it so late. Take the wrapper off. Now you can get a slightly better grip. See if you can tighten it just a little bit more. Yep, I could get like another 1/10 of a rotation there. And here comes the scary part. I've already made you do it a couple times. Here comes the scary part, is uncapping the needle. Now I'm going to tell you exactly how it happened the one time that I actually did cut myself doing this. Keep in mind, this is my 13th injection, each one with 2 needles. I've done this a whole bunch of times. I've cut myself only once. It was like a paper cut, not a big deal. Little bandage on my fingertip is fine. It's just the one way that I did cut myself was because, so I was pulling on it and it finally gave way once I applied enough force. And then my fingers wanted to return to the original position. Like it suddenly came apart and then I wanted to relax back to the same spot. And that's how it cut, because I came back. So all I'm focusing on to not get cut is, first of all, maybe not grab it as much at the base. Grab it more like here. And second of all, when it's apart, keep it apart. Here we go. Hope it's all in frame. Kind of can't, you know what, I'm gonna put my mouse away. Afraid of bumping something. I have a lot of respect for these needles. There you go, just like that. Now we're already gonna put this plastic cap on the table with the opening facing us. You already know why. Anyone who might be seeing this for the first time, that's kind of the other thought for this. I'm making this video for joy, but I'm trying to generalize it in such a way that it can kind of replace the plume video for anyone else who's looking to learn about self-administering injections. I've cut here a little bit because I almost forgot this step. We're gonna get some air in here. Now, the way I told you to do it is you pull the air while the needle is still capped. It makes no difference, it's air all the same. All we're gonna do is pull back the plunger. The syringe fills with air. It doesn't matter how much. More than what we're gonna inject. Like I said, I'm injecting 0.15. I'm gonna do, I don't know, what is it right now? 0.4 milliliters of air. Put the needle, hands off, other hand off. Put the needle vertically through the stopper into the vial. Then you can put your hand on it. Make the whole thing be upside down. Hold it all upside down so you can see inside. I don't know if I can get a good enough close-up, if it'll be focused well enough, but in a perfect world, you should be able to see the needle is below the water level, and I'm about to plunge, put the plunger all the way in, and you should see the bubbles come up of the air that we're putting in. There you go, yes, you can see it. That's to pressurize the vial so that the medication comes out more easily. Okay, then we pull back, again, more than what we need. I'm at about 0.4 again, which is mostly medication, but a bit of air as well. You can see the top of the water level in there. It's a little out of focus. You can see it's not all medication in there. And we're gonna plunge back in until we're at the right amount. So right now we're at 0.4, which is air and medication. But the reason we're holding this upside down is that the air goes out first. Right? So we plunge. There's bubbles again, if you can see them. Yeah, you can. And we go in and in and in until we're at 0.15. And we do not pull back out. Only in until you have the right level. If you overshoot, better to pull back again. Like pull all the way back again and then push. You wanna come to your right dose from the fuller side. Otherwise, there's going to be more air in it. Okay. Now, this draw needle does not go into our body, so it'll have to be disposed of. So pull it out. Now the fingers do have to be on the vial this time, otherwise it'll pull itself right up with it. Just carefully pull it out. Line it up with the cap. Just like that. And once it's balancing on it, you can put your fingers on, crack it on, screw it off. Now, I'm also going to continue holding this upside down, if you would call it that, for a reason that you're about to see. We screw off the top here. That's going to go in the sharp's disposal. And now look at that. You can see like a little droplet of water that's on top of it. That's why I didn't want it sideways or upside down. And I'm just going to have to precariously hold that while we open up the other needle. It's like peeling back a sticker. Right. Only to about halfway. And we do the same thing again with the wrapper still on. Screw it on there. I didn't pay too much attention to what was in the frame there. I hope it was okay. Remove the wrapper, put it away, screw it on tighter again. And now we have prepped the syringe. There's only one thing left to prep, and that's me. Let's put that down. We can double check one more time. 0.15. I don't know if this is going to autofocus to a point where that's legible, but you see there's kind of two black lines. There's two black lines inside the syringe. It's the one that's closer to 0 that we care about. That's the one that's actually blocking how much of the volume is filled with medication. I'm going to put this back where I got it from, which is in this little thing. I don't know if you have one of those, but if you do, you should keep it. It's a nice way to protect it from light and moisture. Doesn't matter, you could do this at the end as well. I'm just wasting time because I'm scared. It's time to choose an injection site. Now this is where subcutaneous and intramuscular differ a bit, apart from the exact type of injection needle that you would have put on by now. The way I do it is subcutaneous in the belly fat. I know I don't have very much of it, but I do. And the thing to understand is that you're supposed to alternate sites. Okay, so I inject every 10 days. My first injection was on the right here. My second injection was on the left. Third right, fourth left, fifth right, and so on. All the odds on the right, all the evens on the left, and I've kept track. If you lose track of the exact number of injections, maybe at least keep track of the day you start a transition. That's a nice milestone to keep in mind anyway. And then you can calculate how many days it's been and work out which side you're supposed to be doing. So today is number 13. That's going to be on the right again. Other people may do the thighs, right thigh, left thigh, or they may even alternate tummy, thigh, tummy, thigh. Either is fine. I only do tummy. What I'm gonna do here is, with the cap still on, I'm just gonna mark a spot, like by just pressing into the skin to like see. It's probably not coming through on camera very well, but so I can kind of see what spot I marked. What they tell you to do, again, belly, subcutaneous or at least belly specific advice, is the video told me to start at the belly button, 1 inch to the side, whichever side is the one of the day, and then 1 inch down. That's what you're normally supposed to do. Unfortunately, you're also supposed to grab like a good amount of fat, right? Like actually hold it between your fingers like that. And if I go down there, I can't really, I'm too skinny. I can't really grab below the belly button, only to the side of it. But that's fine. These things are not actually that precise. To find your intramuscular site, there's the other video. The fact that it's transmask makes no difference. Do the same advice to find the spot. In fact, I'll know it off the top of my head, is you put, like, if that's, let's say I'm doing my right thigh, I put my left hand over, slightly cupping the knee, put my right hand beside it. Now everything to the right of my pinky finger, everything around here, all of that is fair game. So it's not ultra precise. You're only supposed to find the vague right area. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab wherever I feel like I can grab a good amount. That seems good. Sort of an unflattering thing to do on YouTube. And I'm just gonna find a spot and press the needle capped, into it, just to remind myself where it is. Set the syringe back down. Get the other alcohol swab. I guess a swab is a thing on a stick, isn't it? So this is only a wipe. Like a cotton swab you put in your ear, because even though you're not supposed to. Here's the other piece of advice. Don't just scrub like crazy. Start in the middle, on the side that you've selected, and do like spiral out. Spiral out, keep going. Sponsored by Tool Lateralis. So that anything that doesn't get picked up or dissolved or whatever the fuck it is that alcohol does, at least gets pushed away from the site that we care about. That is also garbage now. Okay, now we've used everything except the tissue, the band-aid, and the syringe. All that's left to do is this. And there may be a cut here, because I may take a long time to really build up the courage. Uncap the needle. Same advice as before. Keep it away. Like, don't just like that. Put it with the opening facing you. We'll do the same trick again later. Find the site again. Grab a good chunk. And now, another thing unique to subcutaneous is not only is the needle super short, but I also go in at a 45-degree angle. I think you're supposed to go 90 degrees if you go intramuscular. Look that up yourself. I'm not the expert on that part. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Okay, and this is the part where I take a long time. If I can just touch the skin, I'll be okay. The hardest part is to make contact. Okay, if I notice my hand shaking too much, I'll rest it on the table for a bit. I'll talk a bit in advance. As soon as the needle is in, you can actually let go of the flab of skin, of fat, and reach for the tissue, reach for everything else. This is only for putting it in and making sure that this is a good spot for it. I'm pretty sure you are also supposed to grab a bit of fat, even when you go intramuscular. Subcutaneous, of course, is literally just going into the fat, but I think you are supposed to grab a handful even if you do intramuscular. Again, look it up. Push the plunger in. There's going to be some resistance, that's normal. I'm actually going to keep pinching it just because I want to. Get the tissue ready. Pull that out, do the trick, put it on the cap. Now I'm applying pressure with the tissue because I need both hands to put that on. Band-aid. And then replace the tissue with the band-aid. And hold on, before I even do that, imperceptible. I could not even tell you where exactly the site was. No blood, nothing. About 50% of the time there's no bleeding at all. When there is bleeding, it is the tiniest little dot, like literally like a period on a printed text of paper. It is minuscule. You'll be okay. Okay, and now, if you can, separate the lure lock again so that you can throw this whole thing away in two parts rather than one. If you can't, you can throw it away in one. Doesn't matter. Don't snap it shut, only close it normally. The snapping shut is for the final, like when it's full The final time you close it, you will never be able to open it again. Then it can go in the general waste. Set an alarm on your phone. I can't do that right now because I'm filming with my phone, but set an alarm, in my case, for 10 days from now, or whatever your interval is. Put this away into a dark, dry, room temperature spot. And everything else, you throw away in the regular trash. That's it. You did it. You've started transitioning. Write the date down. Congratulations. You did it. Good girl. Proud of you.